we are back in the kitchen. Welcome everybody. We have a very, very special bake shop story happening now. Let's get right into it. You guys see all of my ingredients, or probably most of them. Let's get right into it. We have two things prepared. Before we go into what we're going to do, we're going to need 2 eggs. We're going to need some flour, baking powder. We don't need a full bottle of orange juice, but just, I have one there for fun. You need a tomato, an avocado, some wraps, and some filling like some jams. Let's get right into it. So, let's go to our recipe. Oh yeah, you guys are gonna need 2 bowls and a spoon. So, I'm not letting you guys, okay fine, I'll let you know. We're gonna be doing something, a family tradition of mine called roly-poly. You might call it strudel. So let's get into it. We're gonna first need to do, mix some wet ingredients and some dry ingredients. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using my trusty overhead camera. Yeah, we are very, 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 very prehistoric over here. And that is how we're going to get you guys to see everything I'm doing without me having to use only one hand. So, let's see. The first thing we're going to need a bowl. I'm going to put inside 2 eggs. Okay? You have to make sure that the eggs do not have any blood. And that's 1 egg. Let's get the second egg. Check that there's no blood. No blood. Yeah, I should be wearing gloves. I don't like when I get all sticky. But we'll get there. Okay, what's the next thing we need? We need a 1/2 cup of sugar. So, I forgot to put over there sugar. That's a good point. So, let's get our sugar. And we're going to put in 1/2 cup of sugar. 1/2 cup. And we're going to put in, yeah, how could I forget my favorite ingredient? 1/2 cup of sugar inside. Done. We need I forgot a second thing. You need a 1/2 cup of oil. So, I have some oil over here. Actually, a brand new bottle of oil. And I'm gonna open it up. And I need a 1/2 cup of oil. So, let's get that 1/2 cup of oil going. Maybe I put a little too much there, so I just won't put the rest inside. We'll put the rest back in the bottle. Waste not. And what else do we need? I don't think I need this 1/2 cup thing anymore, but oil is so oily. I'm going to wash it off right away. Just in case you obviously need it later on. Okay. I have a towel on my shoulder. And, it says we need a juice from 1 orange. So I didn't know exactly what that was, but I went and I found out that there's approximately 1/3 to 1/4 of a cup of orange juice in an orange. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in 1/4. 1/4 is a little less than 1/3. I guess it depends on how orangey you want your concoction to taste. So I'm putting in, you know what, I'll compromise between 1/3 and 1/4. So I'm going to put in 1/3 and 1/2 of 1/3. You don't have to. You could, if you want it to be more orangey, you could put in 1/4 of a cup. If you want it to be less, just put in 1/3. I like washing my dishes now, especially after last week. I wanted to wash them if I could right away. Now that I have all this, I'm going to mix it all up. You want to mix it up till everything is all mixed in well. You want to beat it up like this, put it up and down. As long as you see the ingredients still like separate, like you see some of the white of the egg, and you can see some clumps of sugar, or you feel the sugar, or you see like the yellow egg yolk still very yellowy, like clumps of big, fat, or thick yellow, continue mixing. But it shouldn't take you long. You don't need a hand mixer for this. You get the edges. Good. So now, you don't need a spoon, so I'm going to wash it. Or at least I'm going to put it in the water just a little bit. We'll wash it later on properly with soap. We're now going to take this, put it to the side, and we're going to bring in our bigger bowl. You want to have either 2 medium size or 1 medium and 1 large bowl. Now, in this, we're going to put aside our sugar. We finished our sugar. And let's put away our oil, because we don't need the oil anymore. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go and mix our dry ingredients. Another reason why I kind of washed the cups, because I'm going to need one of them again. In this, you're going to need 2 cups of flour. So, I have my half a cup, so I need to do this 4 times. Let's open our brand new bag of flour. When the last time I had flour in my office was here. So, yeah, you want to get pre-sifted flour, because it should be sifted. So here's a half a cup. Here's a full cup. You want to have another half a cup, and 1 more half a cup. We'll make it 2 full cups. So there we go. You have 2 cups of... Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. Let me take you out of the head. You need to make sure to set your oven. You're going to be baking it at 350, and you're going to be baking it for anywhere between 45 minutes and an hour. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to preheat the oven right now, and probably by the time I'll be ready to put it in the oven, it will be, it'll all be warmed up, and maybe even less than an hour. So between 45 minutes and an hour. Depends on the type of oven you have and how, things work out. We'll see. Well, I'll explain to you a little later when we get to it. So we just put in 2 cups of flour. And now you need 3 teaspoons of baking powder. So I'm going to put in 3 teaspoons of baking powder. Here's 1 teaspoon. Here's a 2nd teaspoon. And a 3rd teaspoon. There we go. That was so simple. And now comes the tricky part. Now what's going to happen is you're going to take the wet ingredients, put them inside the dry ingredients. You want to make sure you get all that stuff out. My wife will be so proud that she sees me cooking. If she only knew. Gotta keep secrets. Just joking. It's a surprise. Alright, so now that we have this all, this is going to get all mixed together. Now, once we have this mixed together, eventually I'm going to have to use my hands. That's another reason why you have to wash your hands. And eventually what's going to happen is once you have this mixed together, it's eventually going to start making into a dough, but not a complete dough. We're going to have, once we have this mixed together, enough that we could use our hands, we're going to want to add another cup of flour. And that cup of flour is going to help us get everything off the walls, but still keep the dough a little sticky. Right now, it's getting very hard to mix. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to add another cup of flour. That's the process. You can't just add all 3 in one shot. If you do, it's not the end of the world. But better to do it like when you're halfway. That's a half a cup. we don't have a full cup thingy here. And another half, which makes it more or less a full cup. I'm going to put in a little less because I want to make sure things are working well. And let's get our hands dirty. Well, not dirty. It's all nice and good. This is going to be so much not fun. Yeah, I should get all the stuff out of the off the spoon, and therefore I have more room to mix. This takes the longest time. If you're just watching this, it might get boring. But you're making a dough, and you want to make sure that it's mixed enough that you have your dough, but it's still a little sticky. So you want to make sure you get all the stuff off of the walls. See, it's still sticking on my hands. You don't want it to be that sticky. We're getting somewhere. It's a small bowl. Maybe I should have taken a bigger bowl. That's why whenever you want to do a baking and someone who has more experience in baking next to you, listen to them. If it breaks up into too many small pieces, not good, because that means you put too much flour. But I think we're getting somewhere. Yeah, I have a little bit of flour on the bottom. Want to get everything off of the walls. And let's get all this stuff that's on the bottom on the top. You can mix it all together. It's getting there. You see, the more that I take stuff off of the walls, that means you know it's getting drier and not as sticky. We're getting there. Okay, so now what's going to happen is as follows. I'm going to take some flour, and that way the dough on my hands won't be as sticky, but for another reason, because we're going to be using my countertop to do some of the rolling. Now, I don't have a rolling pin, but technically speaking, if you have a rolling pin, that's the best thing. So, I'm going to take all this dough out now, put it on our counter that has flour. I'm going to take it, I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to take this and split it into 3 or 4 balls. Okay, here's 1. Here is 2. And basically, each one can make its own roly-poly or strudel. You know what? I'm making 3. I'm just gonna make one of that. They're all gonna be a little bit bigger and longer. You know, like, why not? Now, what's gonna happen is I don't have a rolling pin. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it inside out because I still want it to be a little sticky. So there we go. Now, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna flatten it out. Because I don't have a rolling pin, I'm just gonna do my best in flattening it out. And you want it to be about 1/8 of an inch thick, which is not thin, but nice and thin. Do you want it as a circle, as a square? That's totally up to you. It's always better when it's a circle because it's much easier to work with. But obviously you don't want to make it too thin because you're going to rip it. Obviously, as you see, it's much better to use a rolling pin. If you make it too thick, it may have a hard time baking. But I think I have enough over here. Now, yeah, see, it's getting a little too thin over here. Maybe I made it too thin. Okay. I'm going to wash my hands because I'm putting stuff inside. I know, you're seeing nothing, you're getting all bored, you want to have some company. We're going to get to you. Don't worry, we didn't forget about you. Okay, so now, what you want to do is take some jam, or whatever type of flavored filling you want. I'm taking some raspberry jam. And I'm going to take that same spoon I was using before, or no, it's more doughy. And I'm going to take some jam. Oh, it smells good. And I'm going to take, I don't know, a spoonful. And I'm going to put it in the middle. Yeah, it's much better, technically speaking, if you mixed it and it's all soft, but it's not the end of the world. If not, you just basically smash it. And you want to cover most of it. Not the whole thing. As you could see, I don't know if you guys see everything, so let's, there, that might be a little bit better for you guys. I'll take a little bit more jam. I'm going to smash it again. Actually, I don't think I've ever made a strudel, a roly-poly with raspberry. Okay, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I know, I'm kind of ruining the dough. That's what there we go. Now, once you have that, you could put a bunch of different fillings inside. For example, something you didn't see on the table, which I forgot to put, is you could put in dried raisins, which I'm going to do right now. You don't have to put anything else if you don't want to, but if you want to add some variety, some color, some, you know, extra stuff. Whoops. I'm going to take a bunch of raisins, you know, a box of raisins, and spread them out. You know, one box of raisins, you know, 37 grams. Maybe I'm putting too much. Yeah, most of a box is fine. What else could I put in there? Yeah, I had that razzle stuff. The reason I put in the razzle is because, technically speaking, another thing you could put in there that's very good is like coconut shreds. I couldn't find any coconut shreds in the store, but razzle has nuts and some good chewy stuff. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put in a bunch of razzle. And what else could I put in there? Nah, you know what? We're gonna do that. But before I do that, I gotta get myself a pan. So I have a little pan over here, and I'm gonna cover it, line it with some oil. You guys want to see the pan? I have a pan over there. I'm gonna cover it, line it with, very lightly, with some oil, because you don't want this thing that we are making to stick to our pan. So I'm taking a bunch of oil that I put, I'm going to smear it across the whole thing. There we go. And now I'm going to take this and I'm going to roll it. So the beginning is always hard. So you fold a little bit. Then you take a little bit, be very delicate, fold a little bit more. Then fold a little bit more, and a little bit more till you get to the end. But here's the tricky part. You folded it all, and I'm going to take one end and tuck it underneath. Take the other end and tuck it underneath. You see over here, it's a little, you see a little bit because I probably rolled it too light, too thinly. So I'm going to take some extra dough from the other thing and put a band-aid over it. And now what some people do is they take some oil and they smear it on top. I'll tell you why in a second. Actually, what we'll do is I'm going to put it on the tin foil, on the pan. And now I'm going to smear it with oil. And the reason is because that way, when it bakes, you'll see it getting all golden. And then what's going to happen is, for those people who want to do this, take a bunch of sugar and sprinkle it on top. Not a lot. Sprinkle it on top. And that's it. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to do this again. Because we have 2 more balls over there, right? So let's take this. I like turning it and just here. This is a great way to show you again, in case you need that second preparation. Let's bring the camera back to our regular position. And we're going to flatten this out. We'll see if we could learn from our mistakes this time. Again, we don't have a rolling pin, but we want to make it thin, but not too thin. Yeah, it's still very thick in the middle. You could tell when it feels like a pillow, then you know it's too thick. This looks nice. So this one, I'm bored, and I'm going to use a different flavor. I'm going to use apricot. If I could open this up. There we go. And I'm going to use the other spoon. And I'm going to put the apricot. I don't know. Does it? I wonder which country created apricots. Which country is the most successful country in growing apricots? Where do apricots grow? I wonder where they grow. You don't have to use these flavors. You could use any flavors or any filling. If you want to use chocolate, you could use chocolate as well. And I think I got most of it. Let's put this away. You should make sure to put the right tops on the right jams. And yeah. And we're going to take some more raisins like we did last time. Oops, don't throw them on the floor. You guys can actually see the raisins this time, because beforehand it was a little darker because of the raspberries. So now we get finished that box. Let's open a different one. I remember growing up with these raisins when I was your age, maybe even younger. These raisins were in my house. There we go. Perfect. And obviously, let's do some razzle. Some razzle dazzle. And obviously, let's roll it up. And one. And you guys are making dessert for your entire family, either for this week or for Shabbos. See, it was a little stickier because I forgot to put flour on the bottom. Take the bottom, this side, tuck it in. Take this side, tuck it in. I'll glaze it in a minute. I just want to finish up this last one. Turn it inside out. This one, I think, is a smaller piece of wood dough, so it may not be as big. Let's see how fast we could do this one. Yeah, this is going to be a smaller roly-poly. Why do we call it roly-poly? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Just, that's the way my mommy called it. I think that's because her bubby, her mommy, my bubby, her bubby, my bubby, her mommy called it. I don't know, maybe it goes all the way to Adam Mauritian or Chava. I don't know. Yeah, you guys are laughing because you probably have a rolling pin. Okay, now I was bored over here, so I decided I'm not going to use jam. I happen to have something else in the house, and it's a very different type of filling. I said, you know what, I never did this with this type of a filling, hazelnut. So I'm first mixing up, it's like a chocolate. It's not really a chocolate, but it's like a chocolate paste. So you first have to mix it up. I have the plastic over here. Let's get rid of this plastic. Okay, good. Now, let's just take this paste. Maybe I put too much. We could always go get more, right? We'll take the paste and we're going to spread it around over the entire... yeah, I know, it's just like babka cake or, you know, I don't know, it's not strudel. Strudel is mainly because of the fruit. That's what makes strudel a strudel. But I wanted to experiment. As you guys know, I always like experimenting. So I took this strudel, and this is going to be called hazelnut strudel. And if I don't like it, I'm still going to eat it. Because you have to try. If you don't try, you will never learn. Where are my raisins? Oh, I have some raisins here. I should open the box. Here are some raisins. Let's empty this box. I don't think I need a new box. I think this will be enough. This will be enough. Yeah. I want to add some color. So I'm going to use some of the funfetti we used the other week. Told you I'm experimenting. Nah, you need to have some more crunch. So yeah, we already have the razzle. Might as well put it in, right? You don't have the same fruit. I'm bored. I'm putting some... I'm going to put some extra jam in there. I hope it doesn't get too fat. I never told you, we have to try things out. If you don't try, you'll never know. You'll never know. You'll never grow. What, you think all the beautiful things that exist in the world because the people, this is the way to do it? People tried. And I think we are ready to roll this up. I just hope it actually rolls. Alright. Maybe, see, the one that was the smallest dough, I put the most inside. So I roll it, push down. Roll it, push down a little bit. This one looks like a little too thick, so I'm going to roll the back there so it shouldn't overflow. I'm going to take this. I'm going to tuck it on top. I'm going to turn it upside down because I'm afraid of it to fall apart. So there. There we go. And I put it inside here. Let's get back to our tin. As I said before, we need to glaze it a little bit, so I put some oil. You guys see? Whoops, I think that was a little too much oil. There, and there. And now I'm going to take some sugar and sprinkle it. And on the second one, I'm going to sprinkle it. Don't worry. Great. Just want to get my hands a little clean so I can put it in the oven properly. I think the tin is a little too flimsy. So I'm going to take a second tin. And I'm going to make it a little stronger. That way, I won't have a problem when I put it in or take it out of the oven. Alright, so let's see if you guys could see me putting something into the oven. Yeah, wow, my overhead is very good. I'm so proud of myself. We're going to just put the towel. You will. Bye-bye towel. Oh, there's my towel. Alright, let's put it inside the oven. Let's take our shell out. We'll take our thingamajiggy, put it inside. We're gonna take our little shell thing, put it back in. You guys are helping so great. I wonder how much time there's left. Bye. Baking time. It's probably gonna need some more time. Officially, there's 36 minutes left to it. I wonder how much more time we'll put in, but it just went in now. So let's put it in for 15 minutes and we'll see. Now I'm going to clean things up over here because I want to do the second thing. We're going to come back in a minute, but you guys could tell how long. Right now it's 1:32. We'll see you soon. Alright, it's 1:43 and we did our part in cleaning up, drying. Some of the leftover ingredients over here, some of them are already put away, like the oil and sugar. But while we're waiting, let's do something different. Something that you can even eat right away. So you're going to need some wraps, tomato, avocado, onion, or maybe any other type of filling if you want lettuce, or if you want cucumbers, or whatever like. You want to have some schnitzel pieces, and then you're going to want to have some type of dip. So I'm going to be making a dip right over here, and I'm going to use this tin as a workspace. So I'm going to put you on my overhead camera. We're going to first, because I want to show you how I make it, you can make whatever dip you want. I'm going to be making a tomato mayonnaise dip. So I put some mayonnaise, I'm putting some tomato sauce, ketchup, whatever you want to call it nowadays, and I'm just going to mix it. This you guys know, I'm sure you do it at home, you do it in camp, but if you have any other type of dips, you know, you guys know these stuff better than anyone, better than the millennials. Yeah, because whatever they like, you guys know about it, and then you're going to want to do your own thing. So I'm just going to put in some type of table blend seasoning, just because I want to give it some extra, whatever you want to call it, flavor, kick, just stuff. And it's done. Alright. Now, that was the fun part. That was the hardest part. Well, not the hardest. I'm going to open up my wrap. Yeah, this is a 10-inch wrap. If you want to have a bigger wrap, you could use a bigger wrap. I wouldn't go smaller than a 10-inch wrap. Now, you're going to take your dip. 1 spoonful should be more than enough. You put it in the middle, and you spread it out. You don't want to spread it out to the whole thing, just like the center. Not more than a spoonful. You see? Just putting it in the middle. Good. Now, we're going to do the avocado thing. If you may remember, we're doing this past couple of times. You take the middle, cut. Remember, Chef Nissen from Florida taught us this. Make sure you don't cut yourself. You did it all around. Take it, twist it. Great. Now, I'm going to take the side that doesn't have the pit. And you're going to do the same thing Chef Nissen did. You're going to cut strips, but only one way this time. 1, 2, 3. If you want your pieces to be even thinner, you could do a 5 and a 6. Then you're going to take the edge. You're going to trim the edge off. You're not cutting all the way. You're just trimming the edge. Try to go as far deep as you could without cutting yourself or hurting yourself. You know, you want to go around. See, it's already coming apart. And then, yeah, see, it's already coming out. You want to get everything. Then, all you need to do, well, yeah, you could do that. But what you want to do is, obviously, I had my hands washed already, right? Putting a couple of the pieces of the avocado that way. Well, actually, I'm going to do them this way. You'll see in a minute why. So I'm putting them facing line up to down for me. Okay? You don't need more than 4 pieces. If you want to get all the avocado, you could. You don't have to. I'm a big avocado fan when it comes to what we're doing. Then you're going to take the tomato. You're going to cut the tomato in half. Yeah, I'm just going to work on my... I have a small kitchen here. So, and I want you guys to see what I'm doing. So I'm only using a half a tomato. Yeah, this is not a main... This is just maybe below medium size tomato. And I'm just going to cut small pieces. You don't have to use all. Okay? I'm going to use maybe 3 or 4 pieces. I'm not going to use the whole thing that I cut, because you're putting everything, by the way, in the middle. Now, I'm going to put pieces of schnitzel inside. 1, 2, well, it depends on the sizes of a schnitzel. For example, I'm putting in decent sizes. So, there you go. I'm putting it inside in the middle. If you want to take the tomatoes and put them on top, you could do that. But don't put too much, because you see, I think I may have put in too much. I'm probably going to take a piece of avocado out, because I kind of put a little too much inside here. Because you still want to make sure it's able to wrap up. And then, if you want, I'm just going to wash my hands for a moment. See, what I'm doing is very simple. Doesn't take much professionalism. I want to add some extra little flavor there, so I'm going to put a couple of pieces of onions inside. So I have some pieces of onion over here. I'm going to cut up. You don't need a lot, just a couple of pieces. To add some. Yeah, just some light pieces of onion, nothing major. And now here comes the fun part. You're wrapping up your wrap. Now what a lot of people like doing is they're going to wrap it on a piece of tin foil, because that way you don't have to pick it up after. So in case it falls apart, it won't fall apart. I know that doesn't make any sense, right? So I'm going to take my wrap, put it on, and here we go. Yeah, I'm going to make sure everything is lined forward. I'm going to take the bottom, I'm going to take the right, I'm going to take the left, and then, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I mean, you want to do it this way. You'll see why. You'll see, now you understand why. Take the right, the bottom, bring it up. Bring the right, bring it in. Bring the left in. And now, if you have a lot, it's going to be hard to roll, but ideally, you roll it this way until you have your wrap. And then, take the silver foil, turn it around, curl one side, curl the other side, and then some people cut it this way. I'm going to cut it this way. It's easier to cut this way. So I guess I'll do that way. And we'll cut it on our... And there you go. You have a nice chicken wrap. You know what? I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to do a different dip flavor. Okay? So, and we have some of the leftover stuff here, so. And because we're still waiting for the oven. So, here we go. I have our wrap. This time I'm not going to put that, what's it called? That tomato dip. I have some barbecue sauce. As you know, I like experimenting, and I'm going to put a little of the barbecue. So this is sweet and sour barbecue sauce. And again, I'm going to take a spoon. I'll take a fresh spoon this time. And I'm going to spread it around. You know, this is going to give a different type of a flavor. You know, this is stuff used for barbecue. You put chicken on a barbecue. By the way, now you see why we put it inside the middle, because you're going to be wrapping up. You don't want to put it, you know. And let's get to the next thing we put in, which is going to be some of the avocado. I'm going to use first the leftover avocado that I had last time. Still have the other half of the avocado, and obviously, if you may remember correctly, Chef Nissen said put your knife in, get it in there, twist, the seed comes out. Perfect. Yeah, you gotta get the seed off of the knife. This is a full, nice half of avocado. I'm not gonna use the whole thing. I'm only gonna use half of it. And I'm gonna cut the other. I'm gonna cut half out. You see, I'm already getting it all out. I want to make sure I cut it well. I'm already getting this one out. Let's see if we can get this little guest out at the end of the roll. If it doesn't fall apart, you know, big deal. If it doesn't stay in the same place, I mean, same piece. The goal is you want to have, there we go. And I have my 4 pieces of avocado. I'm going to take some pieces of schnitzel. This time I'm going to put some smaller pieces. Might help with, you know, well, actually, I don't know. There we go. And now we're going to put some tomato. First, let's put the pieces of tomato that I had from the last time. I'm only going to put a little bit more. So I'm only going to cut a little piece, one small piece, because I don't think I'll be able to fit everything else in there. And like last time, we'll put some onions. I don't know. You could put lettuce inside. I'm not a lettuce fan, so that's why you don't see me with lettuce. How you talking? So I put in. I'm gonna have some onions. I don't know if you guys can see that. Some people don't like onions inside. Honestly, I don't know. I never tried without onion. I never tried with onions yet, so this is my first or second time. By the way, make sure if you're using hamoitzi wraps that you wash beforehand. Okay, and I have olive or whatever onions I put in. And what's going to happen is I'm going to turn it around. Remember, I'm going to pull up, bring to the side, bring to the side. Yeah, I forgot to put in the tin foil. So let's go back for a second. Let's bring our tin foil in here. And I'll bring in the wrap that I started folding. I won't stop it. There. So yeah, let's push it in. We have bring in the right, bring in the left. Let's make sure everything stays inside. Bring the bottom up and try your best to roll it up. Make sure you don't have any tin foil in there. And the bigger the wrap, meaning this is a 10-inch wrap. The bigger the wrap, obviously the more you can put in and the better the roll. There. And let's cut this in half. And there we go. This is pouring out a little bit, but you get the idea. You have a nice wrap. And I'm going to put this back together because I'm going to be putting it into the fridge. By the way, yeah, so I cut them open because I know you guys wanted to see what was inside. I'm going to wrap them up because I'm not going to eat them right now. I'm going to save them for supper. So here's one I'm wrapping up. You don't have to wrap it up in silver foil, obviously. If you have any of that baking paper or stuff, you could. Here's one of my wraps. And here's the second one I'm going to wrap up. Oops, I made it so messy. Let's try that one more time. And as soon as I finish wrapping this one up, we're going to check on our oven. I have a feeling it isn't over yet. Let's take these two wrap thingies and wrap up the wrap. That's so cliche. There you go. I have one wrap, two wraps. I'm going to put them into the fridge in a minute. But let's check on our oven. Right now, 157. I wonder how long. Let's turn on the light and see where things are holding. See, some of them are rising. You see, actually, some of them are oozing out. So I don't know if I did a great job. I wonder how much time there is left. Officially it's 24. So I guess we're going to come back very soon. We'll see you soon. Alright, it's 2:17. I don't know exactly how much time there's baking. Officially, it's under 5 minutes. So it was in here for about an hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on our overhead cam. Yeah, I know. I love this. Brilliant, brilliant. And I'm going to bring you to the top of our oven. I'm going to take it out. It's going to be hot. But don't worry. We have gloves. Kind of. Not real gloves, but you know what I mean. You don't want to burn yourself. And you want to have a mat of some sort. And if not, make sure you have something to be able to put your stuff on that it won't burn your countertop. Like I will have. I'm going to put some placemats over here. Make sure nothing gets burnt. And let's do this. We're going to do this with I don't do much baking over here, as you probably could tell. And we just turned off our oven. I think it's I think it's okay. I'll show you why. Yeah, I should have made them a little thicker maybe. Sorry. You see, that's what happens when you put a little too much. But you see they're nice and brown. It's nice and hard, but you see there's a little bit of softness. I'm going to show you what it looks like inside. Actually, I'm going to get a different pan. Well, later on. I'm just going to show you what one looks like inside. Well, yeah, I cut the inside. You see it's a little softy. And if I open up another piece, you could tell there's still some nice stuff inside there. Though obviously, the more you cover the edges, the more they'll be all around. And that's roly-poly. Thank you guys so much for coming. I don't know, I'm going to eat this stuff. Maybe we'll bring it by the end of your ceremony. Thank you so much. I'm going to put these in nice containers and it'll look nice and presentable. You cut them in loaves and you put it on a table. It'll look much, much nicer. Wish you guys a lot of it. Ow, it's still hot. Take care, guys. Thank you so much. We want Mashiach now. See you, Mitzvah Shem. We might make one more next week. We'll see ya. Bye.